As a young kid, I had a lot of very weird hobbies, including digging in the dirt. After I got big into fishing, I took my weird hobby of digging in dirt and decided to use it towards fishing, and I built a backyard bass pond.
And then, of course, once I realized that I could actually successfully dig and build my own bass pond, I decided to build another one. Recently, I've been wanting to put more fish inside my backyard bass ponds, which are located in my backyard. So the goal for today is to go out, venture into the wilderness, and catch some new pet fish from my aquatic oases. It is going to be quite the adventure, battling through the elements, the weather, the storms, hiking out into unknown territory to catch these fish. It is going to be absolutely treacherous. The like whole treacherous part kind of got canceled. We're actually just at a beautiful public park, and it's really easy access, and it's really sunny. Yeah, it's pretty ideal fishing conditions, really easy access. But other than that, it's still gonna be a really like big adventure. So let's start catching these pet fish. First things first, fill the bucket up with a nice amount of water from the creek, right? Make sure these fish have got plenty of room in there. And then I do indeed have a nice little aerator. It's gonna keep some oxygen going in there. We'll wait to turn that on until we get our first pet fish. In one pond, in the new pond, there's just one big bass. And in the other pond, the older pond, there's one kind of small, mid-sized bass, and then one bluegill. That's it. That's all that's in these ponds. And I don't want to overcrowd them at all, because I like these fish have room, but I want to give them some more friends. So what I'm thinking we do is we catch one more small bass for the old pond, and then maybe one or two huge bluegill for the new pond. I think would be cool. So we got one big bass and two big bluegill in the new pond, and then we got two kind of smaller bass and one bluegill in the old pond, if that makes sense. Just kind of switch it up. So that's ideally what we're gonna do, but let's get to fishing. And I got a little crappie jig, ultralight. I think that's all we're gonna need. Oh my gosh, do we have a fish already? Okay. I don't know how on the planet Earth that we just caught this guy. Can y'all even see that? That's ridiculous. Well, it's perfect size for a pond. Bubbles gone. That was ridiculous. I don't know how that fish even got that lure or that hook in him, but hey. Oh, got something. We got him finally. What is it? Oh, this is what we wanted. Come on, get him in, please. This is one of the huge bluegills. Yep, we got it. We did it. It's exactly what we wanted for one of the ponds, you guys. A beautiful, big panfish. Look at that fish. It is exactly what I wanted for one of the ponds. The new pond. To go in there with that bass, get him unhooked, barely hooked. Beautiful fish, there we go. We're back on track. It was taking a while for me to get a fish. There was a little concern there for a minute. We got him. Oh my gosh. This is a big bluegill. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think what we are gonna end up doing is just putting all monster bluegill in the pond. Because look at this. Look at the size of these fish. Come on, come on. I'm trying not to let my keys fall out of my pocket. Let's get you in the bucket. Boom. I think that is gonna wrap it up, because I just cannot catch a bass, and we've caught so many of those giant bluegill or sunfish, whatever they are. I think they're technically long ear, is what like this, you know, actual species of sunfish they are is. So we got those giant long ear, and I think we're gonna take those in the pond, disperse them all out between the two ponds. I think we have 3 or 4 in there, and then that little one. So we're gonna put them all in the pond and get everything set up. It's gonna be super cool. There is, however, one thing that I want to do before we leave. One other thing I would like to add to the aquatic oasis that is my backyard bass ponds, and that is lily pads. I've always wanted to put lily pads in the pond, and I've very rarely come across them. And not only are these lily pads, but they're in very shallow water, and they're everywhere, as you can see. So it's not like we're taking them away from the paradise they're in right now. So let's try and get some lily pads for the pond. There, we did it. Lily pads with roots. Let's go right here and try and do them. Come out with the roots. Got it. Oh, lily pads with roots. So we'll take this. Shout out to the Wind Rider Helio shirt for keeping me dry. This thing's moisture wicking, so it's gonna shed all the water I just got on it in about a couple seconds, and keeping me nice and cool from the bright sun we got going today here in South Texas. So if y'all want to check them out, have them linked below. Huge shout out to Wind Rider. Let's get this giant mob of disgusting lily pads loaded up in my brand new cleaned car. I just cleaned it yesterday, so cleaned it like brand new, and now we're gonna stick those in there. Perfect, and we'll meet you guys home. We are back at the beautiful backyard bass ponds. We are at the old pond first, and it is time to put these fish in. I'm gonna put the fish in first. I wanna get them out of their bucket into their new aquatic oasis home as quick as possible, and then we'll worry about those lily pads. That's gonna be a pain in the butt, but as for now, let's get these fish in, kind of decide what we're doing with all of them, put them in their new home. So look at that. First fish going into his new home. Gorgeous fish. Let's put him in. That was awesome. Now we got our little tiny micro bluegill. Oh, we already dropped him. Little, name this guy Steve. Oh, Steve's gone. Steve is totally gone. Well, that is, let me clean you guys off, you're a little dirty. That's that for that pond. So we put one big bluegill and the little bluegill in here. The little bluegill, hopefully he'll make it. The odds aren't great, but there's a lot of grass in this pond, a lot of hydrilla. So if he stays hiding, he'll make it. If not, the natural food chain will happen. But that big bluegill or the big sunfish is definitely gonna make it. So now we got our last two. Look at these guys. Oh yeah, they're feisty. Giant panfish. Let's go put these in the other pond. This looks great. Now we gotta get these out of the car. Oh, this looks, oh. Just get in there. Huh, one of the bluegills is still chilling out right here. Oh, this is never fun. Oh, it's so cold. Okay, here we go. Plop it down. Maybe one more rock. Something like that. That's pretty dang good right there. All right, let's get out of here. Whoa, the bluegill just swam and hit my foot. Now this is big for this pond because this pond does not get a lot of shade at all. So pads going in here is gonna be huge. Huge for the program. And then obviously, ideally, they'll start spreading eventually. Let me see, where's a good rock? I need a rock. That's a rock. I really don't want to get in this pond because this pond is really cold for some reason all the time. But again, oh, kind of think I'm gonna have to make sure we really get these. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, so there's turtles in here, there's bass. Obviously now there's 2 big panfish. There's a lot of stuff in here. You just never know what's gonna come up and bite you. Oh yeah, that looks so good though. Come on. Lily pads and the backyard bass ponds. Next level stuff right there. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that you guys had fun watching me go out and catch some new pet fish for the pond. I'm thrilled to put more of these big old sunfish, these long ears, in the pond. And then obviously it was an absolute bonus that we got lily pads. I wanted to do a little pond video. We haven't done a pond video in months, maybe even a year or two. So it's been quite a while. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been a long time. So I wanted to make a little pond update video out here, put some fish in it, put these pads in it. And thank you all again very much for watching. Make sure y'all drop a comment on what you want to see on the channel next. We still got a video in the works. I know I did a little comment poll on what you guys want to see on the channel upcoming, and I got a couple of those videos in the works. So thank you all again so much for tuning in. Until the next fishing adventure, peace out. This is honestly super relaxing. Oh, that was so stupid.